Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. Navy basketball team's off to a 2-0 start in the Patriot League. One of the big contributors is freshman Josiah Strong out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. And for you just trying to blend in to this team and try to find a role, how has it been so far in the short time you've been here at the academy?
I would say for sure, like, it's been a great experience for me, like the team and everything so far. At first, I would say it's a little bit of adjustment coming from high school. Like, it probably is for a majority of players, like anywhere. Coming in from high school, you got to adjust to being the young pup again and just playing behind people. But I would say the team really took all of us as a class, our freshman class, in with open arms. And I've been learning a lot, obviously, from Hassan Abdullah. He's a senior point guard, so he's kind of like been a great leader for me. And just practice every day, get better, and it's been translating to games. So
I was going to say, what kind of influence does, I mean, because you look, he's played, from his sophomore year on, he battled through some injuries in his freshman year, and right now, playing some of his best basketball, trying to be an inspiration to you guys. Do you see that right now, especially Coach? I know Coach harps on the seniors all the time that they have to be leaders. Hassan certainly seems to be doing that right now.
Yes, most definitely. Like Hassan, every day in practice, even when our non-conference, when we were struggling a little bit, like he would just tell us, keep our heads up, like keep pushing, it'll all come together, stay together, knowing like get your head down, just play together as one, be a family. So he's been really a great leader for us, and by example and vocally, like he's kind of like the guy we look to, even in games, like when we're struggling, like he always is that spark that we need. So he's been a great leader for us.
When did you know basketball was going to be your vehicle to get to college?
Well, my father actually was a Division I football player for the Minnesota
Right.
Gophers, so he's been a great like role model for me ever since I was young. And when he was young, my parents kind of set a standard of having doing well academically, and if whatever you do it to the best of your ability. So for me, that was basketball. That just happened to be basketball. So I obviously strived in the classroom to be the best I could be, and then athletically, I would say around like I started playing when in elementary, but probably when I was about a sophomore, that's when I knew like that was gonna be my outlet to get to college, and it brought me here.
For for a player in that area especially, there's tremendous Division I, Division II, Division III basketball available to you. When did you know that you probably had a chance to be a Division I talent?
So I would say my freshman year, I was kind of shorter, like I was about 5'6", and then my sophomore year, I had a growth spurt, and that's when I really started like working. Like every day, I would be in the gym. It was just like I had a motivation, determination, because my dream had always been to play Division I, and then there were some guys ahead of me at my high school who I saw go Division I, saw what they did to get there, so I kind of used that, and every day I would just be in the gym working. And then I saw schools started calling me and doors started opening. So probably my sophomore year when I started getting recruited pretty heavy, and then junior year AAU season, that's when the offers started coming. So that's probably when I knew like Division I was going to be my route.
Having had two that played college basketball myself, what was that feeling like for you once those phone calls started coming and the offers started coming? Did it make you work even that much harder every day knowing that people were finally taking notice of your skills?
Most definitely. Like I would say, because at first I was more of a late bloomer compared to some of my friends who I had back home. Like they would have offers like freshman, sophomore year before I even like got my first letter. So it was like I was like, okay, like let me just keep working. I would work harder and harder every time I saw someone get an offer or anything, especially with social media nowadays. Like
Absolutely.
you see everything.
No question.
So I just kind of use that as fuel for me, myself, and just like stay in the gym every day, work harder and harder. And then when I started getting phone calls and letters and contacts from coaches, that just made me work harder to just eventually get an offer and eventually just like open as many doors as possible for myself so I could just put myself in the best position.
Obviously, you've got the ability to shoot the ball. Here, the role is being, backing up Hassan. And how do you balance the distribution role with the ability to shoot the open shot when it comes to you at that position?
So for me, it's kind of like I I was put in a position where I've been in this position before, kind of playing behind a senior lead guard because high school a kid by the name of McKinley Wright, he goes to Colorado University now. I played behind him, and obviously he's a very good point guard. So I was my role was kind of like come in and don't let there be a drop off at all. Like
Sure.
so run the team, don't turn the ball over, just don't do anything that's gonna drop the team down from where the starter had us at. And whether that's for me, obviously, like, my strength is probably scoring the ball and shooting. But my role right now is kind of just, like, be a floor general while I'm out there. And if the shot's there, shoot it. But don't overplay your role, but also just make sure you do your role when you're on the court. So that's kind of me being a freshman right now. That's kind of where I see my role as.
And quite an acclamation for you, because this has been by far the toughest out-of-conference schedule Navy's played in quite some time. You all played some really good folks, but you're starting to see maybe some of the fruits of that labor. 2 huge wins to start the conference season. Do you see maybe even a little more pep in everybody's step now that you all are starting to see some wins? Does that get more confidence, more energy as practices go now?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, we obviously, as you said, we had a very hard non-conference schedule, but we knew, like, even though we might have been taking some losses here and there, like, we knew we were getting better by playing those teams. And as the conference play opened, we were still coming in confident. Every practice, we've been working harder and harder as conference play started getting closer and closer. So I would say these 2 wins really have definitely, like, boosted the confidence a lot, kind of reassuring us that we still are, like, we still can play and compete with anyone on our schedule right now, and, like, we're just in a great position. So especially with our seniors playing well right now and everyone, our team chemistry, like, coming together really well, I feel like we're in a good position right now.
So you got a big one coming up Wednesday night with Saeed Nelson at America. He's probably one of the best guards you'll face in this league. Final question: everybody rowing the boat back in Minnesota?
Yeah, everyone is.
Everybody into it?
Everyone is.
Everybody's behind the PJ Fleck train?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. That's Josiah Strong joining us here as the Mids will take on American, and then back home on Saturday when they take on Boston University. Joining us here on the Navy Sports Magazine.